What's up, Cleaning Boss family and cleaning business owners? It's your boy DJ the Boss, and I am back with another cleaning business video. Shout out to y'all for being the realest cleaning business community on the internet, man. Go ahead and give yourselves a like on the like button, man. Go ahead and push that button for yourselves. Appreciate y'all. If you're new here, like I said, I go by the name of DJ the Boss. I started my cleaning business probably about 10 years ago. I have recently retired, so I'm no longer in the business or in the industry, but I didn't retire from helping my community. So we here, man. How do you manage a 6 a.m. cleaning contract? Today's question comes from AD Alex 08. I'm hoping I'm saying your username right, but I appreciate you for asking the question, man. That's how this community rocks. So if you have a question like AD Alex 08, then definitely get it out in the comments and I'll try to make a video for you. AD Alex 08 asked the question. I thought it was a really good one to make a video for, and I think it could help a lot of people. So that's what we're doing today, man.
Look, this for all my boss babe. Go do your boss thing. Loving how you boss babe. This for all my dreamers and my doers and all the entrepreneurs. Just believe in what you're doing and pursuing. Look, this for all my boss babe. Go do your boss thing.
All right, my bosses, we back, man. Shout out to AD Alex 08 for asking a question again. Again, his question was, great video. I don't remember what video he was commenting under, but he says, great video. How do you manage a 6 a.m. cleaning contract? Very tough to manage. From people not being there early on time to hiring and not showing up on the first day. I empathize with you, Alex, because I definitely been through this. If you watch some of my early videos like this, I show my frustrations with dealing with hiring people. We'd email back and forth, and we'd even have like an interview, and then on the first day of work, or you're on the schedule now, it's time to actually come in and do some work, and then people wouldn't show up. It's crazy, especially for jobs. I did all of my jobs throughout my career until the last 2 years of my career. All of my jobs were nighttime jobs. If they weren't post construction, they were usually after hours. Businesses closed, we come in, we're cleaning, so that puts us into the late hours. So if we couldn't always get the 6 to 12 or the 6 to or 5 to 9 or 5 to 10 or what have you. Our shifts usually were from 9-10 p.m. to sometimes 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So it becomes really difficult to find laborers to work in those hours. It becomes extremely difficult to manage jobs that are taking place in those hours, especially if you're working 9 to 5 during the day. You have no shot, or at least it seems that way in the beginning. But I want to talk about some of the things that I did that I feel like helped to turn that around for me, because that after a couple of years, that was no longer an issue for me in my business. I help some people and let you know what worked for me and how I think about it, so that maybe it can help you in your cleaning business to turn this around. It is extremely hard and it's frustrating. I can definitely understand that. The first thing that I want to mention in terms of managing these 6 a.m. or off hour cleaning contracts is that you need to understand that recruiting is the job. More than a cleaning company, you are a staffing agency, and I've said that before in other contexts. But majorly, you are a staffing company. You provide labor. It's not the job of cleaning something isn't a hard job. It's not a hard job, and it's not a glamorous job. So it's not something that's difficult to do, but it's something that almost anyone can do and no one wants to do. No one wants to clean. Most people just don't want to clean. If you find someone who actually wants to clean, then we wouldn't be having this conversation, because you'd have great employees and everyone would just be dying to get their hands dirty and get in there and make things shine. But that's not the case. Most people don't see their career path through cleaning or through being a janitor or a maid or what have you. So the job, this is what our job is. This is what we are here to do as cleaning business owners, is to bridge that gap for the need for cleaning and the people who are willing to actually do the job. It's your job to find those people, and it's your job to incentivize those people and put them in the best position to succeed and provide the best experience for your clients. So, but that's the job. Understanding that you are in the recruiting business. You are in the labor business. What you provide is labor for businesses. They probably can't find someone in their company to spend the time they need to clean, or there's not enough cleaning to justify the training and the hours and the salary and the taxes that they would have to pay for that one employee within their company. And that's something that you can obviously offer as a benefit to your services. But recruiting is the job. So there's no that's just what it is. So as much as you are trying to find clients to clean, you should be putting that same amount of thought and effort and energy into finding cleaners, because that is the job. If you don't have any labor, then it's going to be extremely hard for you to scale. The job is finding people. It's a people business. It's finding people to do the work. Uh, I've given this advice in previous videos, but just to also include it here, keep a list. Never stop hiring. Whether you have work on the table or down the pipeline or not, you're always hiring. You are just like furniture businesses. Furniture companies are always liquidating, always having a going out of business sale, but they never go out of business. You are always hiring, whether you have work or not, whether you live in the cleanest city in America or you live in the middle of my old projects in New Orleans. You are always hiring. You need cleaners. So, and when you don't have work, those people go into a list, and you can keep them categorized by how, by however you want to grade your cleaners or your potential employees. But at least you have somewhere to start, and you're not just like, running around all crazy when you need people to work. You actually will already have a list of people who've shown interest, and then you can pull from the people that seem the most promising from that list. So that's the first way where you can start to filter out people that could actually work for your company. And especially within those off hours, if you've reached out to a bunch of people and you're always hiring for this position, and they're applying for this position that they know is at night, and they give you any other information about their lifestyle, their situation that lends them to to be successful in a nighttime job or an early morning job or whatever that off-hour job is, then those are the people that you go through first. In addition to, when jobs come up, you are now giving an extra push to find people to fill that position. But you should already have a list of people that you can start from, and generally you'll be able to spot the people who are better suited for that position. But that brings me to my first point, or my first piece of advice, or the first thing that experience has kind of taught me in hiring, is that you want to target lifestyle fits. So target people who already live a lifestyle that matches the type of job that they're going to be doing for you, or the type of hours they're going to work. For example, if they already work a similar job, like if you're looking for employees, if they already work the night shift at a gas station, they're probably not going to have an issue with working the nighttime as a cleaner. Or if they're already working an off-hour job, those are people that you want to zone in on. Those are people that you want to target. If they're already up random hours of the night, or have a lot of energy, you ask questions to find those things out about them, and those are the people who you want to put in those types of positions. So you're really just trying to filter out people that already have these particular lifestyles, where they're active in these hours, then that's probably going to work best for you. You really need to personalize your onboarding process. Personalize and professionalize your onboarding process, for one. Professionalizing your onboarding process is going to give off a much better impression of your business than you just kind of winging it. If you put some thought behind it, you make sure it's professional, you make sure there's no questions throughout the process, and people know how to get from point A to point B throughout this onboarding process. If that's organized and well thought out, then that leaves it a professional impression on your potential employees, and they tend to take your company a bit more serious, and then you'll have a few less people not showing up, or those type of things. If they feel that this is something that's a little bit more serious, if you take it more serious, then they will feel like the job and the position in the company is a bit more serious. So I always say, don't take yourself too seriously. You want to have some personality, but at the end of the day, you're still trying to be a professional. You're still trying to build a professional company. So have some professionalism in the way that you are onboarding new employees. So thinking through whatever softwares you're going to use, making sure that you know exactly how to tell people to get through that process, and that it's organized and it's neat and it looks professional. So that's going to take you a long way in attracting and keeping the right people inside of your business. In terms of personalizing your onboarding process, then if you have a job available where it's off hours, then inside of your onboarding process, you should have questions or checkpoints to make sure that these people are a fit for this particular position, whatever that may be. Yeah, like if you do a lot of restaurants or bars, then you might want to have in your onboarding process something that mentions or asks whether or not this person may have had problems with alcohol abuse or substance abuse in the past, if they're going to be surrounded by things like that, and things that may not show up on a background check, or obviously within the laws. But you want to find out these things so you don't put people in positions to fail. You want to set people up to where they have the best opportunity for success. And I may be dragging that particular example because I'm not exactly sure how legal it is to ask someone about their like addiction past or whatever. That may or may not be legal, but you do want to personalize your onboarding process in a way that sets people up for success. So put some thought into it, put some effort behind it. Another point that I think will help a lot of people is that you don't have to necessarily have a W-2 employee in those jobs per se necessarily to start out, especially when you're just starting out. If you're a small company, you have less than 15, 10, you have 10, 15 employees, you may not be able to put an employee, a W-2 or a direct employee right into that off-hour account. That might be something that you might want to reach out to a subcontractor to fill that particular job for you until you have enough work or enough hours or enough surrounding work to either make that the pay for that particular shift higher, or the hours of that particular shift longer to be more attractive to a full-time employee, or or you just have more employees to where you can break that up and make it easier for someone to to have it in two separate shifts that go from 1 to 3 and then 3 to 6, or from 4 to 6 and then 6 to 8 or what have you. Until you have enough volume, it's gonna be difficult. And one way around that is to just use subcontractors. There's a lot of benefits to using subcontractors. I particularly didn't follow the subcontractor business model in my business, but I have used subcontractors when I'm in a pinch in things, in situations like this, where you have the work, you don't have the manpower to get the work done. It may cost a little bit more, may eat into the profit margin a little bit more, but you can make sure that the work gets done, and you can hold on to that client until you can put your own employees into that spot. There's nothing wrong with using a subcontractor. I think that's the smartest way to go about it. Fourth point. Fourth thing would be to financially incentivize those particular jobs. If a job has a unusual hazard, there's usually hazard pay. If a job is during unusual hours, and it's not extremely unreasonable to think that someone would expect a slightly more unusual pay for that particular job. So if it's more important for you to have someone work these hours, then that may be a job that you might have to charge a little bit more, or just pay a little bit more and take a little bit less of a profit margin in order to secure that job, in order to make your employee happy, and keep work inside of your business. But also, you can do things like incentivize multiple work days in a row, however many work days in a row someone work. So after working 30, 60, 90 days or what have you, they can have a bonus or be eligible for a pay raise or what have you. You can also require probationary periods. So you can only make so much money until you've worked so many days in a row, or you've been with the company for X amount of days or months or weeks or what have you. But you can also financially incentivize the actions that you want, the actions that are important to you in your cleaning business. So, but those are my tips for managing these off-hour cleaning business accounts. If you have a question like AD Alex, again, Alex, thank you. I appreciate you for dropping the question in the comments. If anyone else has any questions, leave them in the comments, man. Like this video first, and then put your question in the comment. I would love to help you guys out. I don't have a whole lot of stuff to sell you guys, especially now that I have retired, but I do still offer consultations. And right now, my consultations are 50% off. So just use the promo code HeyDJ, and we can set up a consultation and get your business to the next level. I love helping cleaning business owners. It's something I've been doing for years now. A lot of my students have had a lot of success and gone on to create incredible companies. Couldn't be more proud of those people and this community in general. Again, you guys are the realest cleaning business community on the internet, and I love you guys, man. Make sure you like this video, leave a comment if you have a question, and book a consultation if you want to do a one-on-one. I love you guys. Keep that boss mentality. Peace.